No dough, no show.
Okay, so here we are with this part of my desk build. So I did not get any footage of mounting the trim around the outside. You got to see part of the first one, but once I got going, I just kind of kept going, and I didn't do any recording of it. So, um, but um, it was fairly straightforward. I mean, it's just rinse and repeat of what you saw of that first one that I kind of had to go back to the drawing board a couple times with. Um, but I was fairly sure that I avoided pretty much putting any holes and knots on any of the other ones because that's what caused me so many problems with that first one. But once I got those rails up, I then cut the sub sub desktop, which is a half-inch particle board, and then I cut the 1/8 inch masonite hardboard to put on the top to be the more durable board. It's like $7 for a 4x8 sheet, so it's if it gets messed up, it's cheap and easy to replace. You can see from this picture the edges are kind of rolled up and whatnot. Part of that is because of how it had been kind of resting in over at my dad's garage. It wasn't sitting flat, so it kind of got a bit of a bow. It's pretty much down now. The only thing I still need to do that I have not done, and I will be doing it sometime soon, is I'm going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes in the top and a little countersink spot, and come in with some, probably 2 inch or inch and 5/8 screws, whatever, and actually screw down the particle board just to, and I don't need that many, just a couple like in the corners or whatever, just to snug it down a little bit, and then that will help the hardboard sit down a little bit more. Potentially, I may end up having to put. I bought some 1x4, and I'm probably going to have to put the 1x4 on and redo the outside rails, the trim parts, because of they don't. Some reason all my measuring and everything it still did not come out quite the way I wanted it. But we'll see what happens after I get them all screwed down and everything. Potentially after I do that, they'll sit a lot better. I mean, it's not horrible, but it would be nice if it was a little bit more flush. So once I do that, then more or less this top will be done. I am going to be doing some shelves over the top. So the part against the wall will have a shelf going the width of that section, and then I will put a shelf over the other part of the L over here on this end as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get to this part, the video of this part, which is going to be me making the mount for my camera mount, and then also mounting the monitor mount onto the desktop as well. So let's go ahead and get to that. Okay, welcome back everybody to my desk build. So I didn't show this yet, but I've got the base of the top, and then I've got the masonite hardboard on top. And technically, although you'll probably see videos um, come out, potentially see videos come out like one of my modeling videos, where I say it's the first video from the desk, the new desk. But technically, this is part of a video that is from the desk. So in this video, what I need to do is, this is the part of the base of my camera mount that I use for recording the modeling and my paracord and that kind of stuff. So again, if you recall, I used I don't know what they call it, scissor type uh, um, lamp, and then I took that off, and then I mounted a tripod top to it, and then so I could have my camera mount on there. And incidentally, I'm recording from another tripod, which you can see here, but it's the only way I could do this makeshift wise.
Excuse me, had to sneeze. It was not Corona either. It's the only way I could do this makeshift wise so I could still actually record it, because I thought this would be interesting to show. I don't know if this is going to work, but in order to mount this, the clamp that it normally uses, I don't think will clamp to the side of the table. Plus, I wanted to be able to have a little bit more kind of freedom to move it around and that kind of stuff. Because currently, this is extended out as far as I can possibly get it. And as a result, I don't get a lot of possibility for movement or anything like that. So this time what I want to do is I'm going to take this copper nipple and I'm going to drill a hole in the bench top here, the desktop here, epoxy this in place, and then I want to slide this down, but I want it to be a bit more kind of secure than what that is. So I was hoping to be able to find some sort of a grommet or a bushing or something, but no place that this will fit into. And this is about if I remember right, it's like right on a 1/2 inch or something. And so I need a way. Incidentally, this is a 3/8 inch nipple, which I find interesting. This 3/8 inch nipple, but I think that's a 1/2 inch outside diameter. So 3/8 inch nipple will fit on there. So it's kind of strange. I think the 3/8 comes from the inside diameter of the copper pipe. But regardless, what I came up with, this is heat shrink, commonly used for electronics or wiring, I should say. And so when you're making splices and that kind of stuff, you take this heat shrink, put it over the top there. You take your lighter or some other heat source and you melt it, and it shrinks down. And when it shrinks, it actually kind of swells up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see how thin that wall is. So when it shrinks, it will actually kind of swell up, and I think that's part of the constriction process. So I thought, well, you know, I've used heat shrink for all kinds of things over my years. I used to do electronics repair in the Army, and we used heat shrink all the time repairing stuff. So I thought, maybe this will work. So I'm going to give it a try. We're going to see if that helps, and we'll go from there. The good thing is you don't have to shrink this all in one shot either. I mean, you can come back and fix up the parts that you miss and all that kind of stuff. So unlike, when I'm using heat on my model, melting some of the plastics and stuff so I can reshape it and form it and all that kind of stuff, I don't have to worry about that with this. Okay, so that did swell up a bit, and that is fairly firm. It's not like super tight, but at the same time I don't necessarily want it super tight. You can see that. So this nipple has, let me see if I can show you here. That worked out perfectly. So this nipple has a little dimple right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll move it around a little bit, get the shadow just right. So I don't have my monitor over here yet, but so that nipple, when you put your copper pipe in, it's going to give a stopping spot. So you put those in there, and then you solder your copper pipe in. That's when that goes on. That's really pinching it down, and that works out really, really well. So I'm very happy with that. Now all I have to do is drill a hole on one of the cross pieces here and drill it big enough that I can fit this down. I'm going to epoxy this in place. I already have the epoxy. I'm going to epoxy this in place, let it dry, and then what I'll try to do is have this sit up maybe just below this 1/8 inch hardboard. Maybe mostly in the plywood top or the particle board top, and because I want something that's going to make it so it won't waller around and wear out the wood and that kind of stuff, because then that just wouldn't be very good. So I needed something that's going to give it some strength. So yeah, that works out really well. While I'm here, let me see if I can get the camera turned and angled properly. Hopefully you guys saw all that, because unfortunately I don't know how this, I couldn't tell exactly where I was. So you can see these two bolts here. So I drilled these holes and measured it out, drilled these holes so that the TV that I use as my monitor when I'm recording, I'm going to be able to mount this here, and the arm that it has, there's got some Allen wrenches that I can tighten, and so I'll be able to stand it up and put it right here, so it'll give me a nice spot for my my monitor and then my camera over there. So pretty happy about that, because that's going to give it a nice solid mounting spot as well. So once I get this hole, and I'm going to put the hole over in this area, once I get that hole in there, I'll be able to get this this copper nipple epoxied in place. Once I do that, I'm moving all my stuff over to this desk, so I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'll be happy to be on the new desk. So there we go. All right, take care, everybody.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.